Bullseye schmulseye, check out how fast this Raspberry Pi OS boots. Let's just have a look at how insanely quickly IchigoJam for the Raspberry Pi boots. I've actually powered it off the TV's USB socket now, so if I turn it on, the Raspberry Pi powers up, and before the TV has even turned on, I think we'll discover that this is booted. There we go, we're actually in to IchigoJam Basic. If I type in files, it will list all the programs that I've got listed on the file system. So I've got a program here that will just say hello world. So if I do load 0, there's my program. Lots of shortcuts using the function keys. So if I press F4, that lists my program. If I press F5, that will just run it. Hello world, marvelous. To break out, you press escape. This is a broken keyboard. Amusingly no escape key, so I'll just have to stick my finger in it. If I do load 1, this has loaded up a program that I think just prints the whole character set. So I press F5, it prints very slowly all the different characters on the screen. Interesting side effect of this, if I break out of that and now I try and list, oh, it is working. If it gets to a certain point in the program, it obviously prints something that changes the keyboard mode to Japanese, and it gets very hard to type it in, type any instructions in. So if I change line 25 to wait, let's say wait 3, and then I run the program again, and you should see it's printing much more quickly now. And you can see all the characters on the IchigoJam character set there. You'll see alphabets, the usual kind of block characters, graphics characters you get on old computers, some Japanese characters, and some more fun characters that you might use for games. Notice my cursor has now changed. This means that I now probably can't type. So if I try and type run, it's now it thinks I've got a Japanese keyboard, so I can't type anything. However, I can just press F5 to run the program again, and once it's got to a certain point, if I break out of it, I should find that the keyboard is now working again. There we go. I'm now back in normal non-Japanese keyboard mode. I've noticed a few weird things about video modes. If I type in video 2, it inverts the video. If I type in video 3, if I can type it properly, video 3, it makes it even bigger. So I've got huge characters going across the screen there, which is quite good fun. And oh, I need to run it again, don't I? Because I have now gone into Japanese mode again. And then if I do, like, I can get all the way up. I don't know how big I can go. I can go video 7, huge numbers. So if I now type run, you can see the characters really big going across the screen, which is quite good fun. I'm going to skip out of that, and if I press F8, I think that puts the video mode back to normal. I haven't worked out how to get the keyboard mode back to normal other than by running this program again. Right, and if I escape out of it, hopefully, if I do files now, I can see all the programs that I've got listed. Yeah, program 2 is a game. So if I do load 2, I've now got a game, and this is quite a nice little, amazingly compact game. What it does is you use the left and right arrow keys on the keyboard, and you have to sort of navigate around a slalom of random characters. I love the way this is coded so compactly. It's really clever. So if I run this now, and then I've got to go left and right. Oh, not very good at this. It's very quick, and it shows you actually the basic itself does run pretty quickly. Also, you get some, it's scrolling so quickly, you get some weird kind of color artifacts coming out of what is a black and white display. Anyway, huge fun investigating this. I can see I'm going to spend a lot of time exploring this, because you can also access the pins on the Raspberry Pi as well, I believe, and you can even access things like the I2C interface it with other peripherals. Maybe I could even try and interface it with a microbit. You can do serial communication on it as well. Who knows what else you can do. So you've kind of got the best of both worlds. You've got the very simple kind of basic programming interface, so it's quite simple and child friendly and easy to get going with, and has a certain retro appeal. but you can also do some quite advanced stuff as well with the pins. One problem I've got though, the sound does not come out of the sound jack on the Raspberry Pi. This is a really old original Raspberry Pi I've got here. Analog video output straight into the AV input on the TV. In order to get sound out of it, you have to connect a piezo kind of buzzer thing, but you've got to connect it to GPIO pin 5. Now, GPIO 5 is not broken out on the early Raspberry Pis. It's only available on the later ones, which seems like a real shame, because this operating system, this IchigoJam OS for the Raspberry Pi, is a really, really good use for an old Raspberry Pi that you've got lying around, because it runs really quickly. You don't need a fancy monitor. Any old TV or monitor with an analog AV input is enough to get the video out of it. It's NTSC video, of course, being from Japan. But it is a good use for an old Raspberry Pi, but it's a real shame I can't get the beeps and play the music out. So what I might do is I might solder the pins on a Raspberry Pi Zero that I've got, because I think that would make another good companion for this. It would be nice to make an IchigoJam Raspberry Pi computer using a Pi Zero. Let me just have a look at my files again. What have I got? I've got Hello World, characters. I thought I had one more. There's a cool program that I seem to have lost. I'll see if I can get that back later. I found that other little program I was going to run. This is quite a nice little thing that uses InKey to take keyboard presses. If I run it, you can see it just sort of fills the screen up at random. If you press different letters of the alphabet, they kind of randomly fill the screen in quite a nice way. It's quite pleasing, isn't it? But if you hold down the Alt key and push other letters as well, you get some of the symbols appearing as well, and you get some really quite delightful effects in there, where you can see some of the different sort of playful characters that are in the IchigoJam character set.